Greetings to our introduction to the animal kingdom, and what we're going to be doing is introducing you to some of the basic characteristics of the animal kingdom, and then later on we'll be going into different organ systems and so on, and how animals do all the things that they do. Okay, so let's get started. Basic characteristics of the animal kingdom, I hope you already know based on having generally studied the kingdoms up to now. They are all eukaryotic, they are all multicellular, they are all heterotrophic. All animal cells lack cell walls, okay? Now, the evolutionary trends that we see in animals, like we tend to see in life itself, is that animals started out simple and have gotten increasingly complex over time on planet Earth, okay? So keep this in mind, the simple to complex journey, okay? It's really important as we look at all the characteristics of basic animal body forms, okay? And these are some of the characteristics we're going to be looking at as we do this introduction, okay? So let's get started. Body symmetry. Body symmetry refers to how many different ways you could cut a body in half and get two symmetrical halves, okay? There are three types of symmetry, okay? Whoops, sorry, I forgot to correct that typo. Asymmetry, in which an animal simply is not symmetrical at all, okay? There is no way in which you could cut it and get two symmetrical mirror image type halves, okay? Only one group of animals has this type of body symmetry, and that is sponges, okay? As you can see, this sponge over here is kind of a very amoeba-like blob, only much bigger, multicellular, okay? So, asymmetry, no symmetry at all. The other type of symmetry is radial symmetry. And in radial symmetry, it's symmetry like you have if you look at a bicycle wheel. Any number of planes could cut that body into two equal halves, like a pie. Okay, you can cut it this way, or this way, or this way, or this way, and you'd still have two equal halves, no matter which of those ways you chose to cut it. Okay. The last type of symmetry is called bilateral symmetry, and this is the symmetry you find in most more complex animals. It is symmetry in which only one plane will result in two symmetrical halves. It is the most advanced type of symmetry and results in certain body regions that we talk about when we talk about more complex animals. Dorsal means the back side of an animal, like if you imagined a shark, it's a dorsal fin. Ventral is the belly side of an animal. Anterior means head end, and posterior means tail end. So, if we look at this beautiful butterfly, and there is only one plane through which we could cut that butterfly's body and get two symmetrical halves, okay? Same goes for this whale shark here. We would have to cut it down the middle of its body. Now, we can't, you have to do this from above, and we're looking at a profile. But if we do orient this whale shark's body and talk about those, if you remember these four regions, these four body regions that result from bilateral symmetry, what we see is dorsal versus ventral and anterior versus posterior, okay? And you can see that in any number of higher animals that you can think of, okay? All right. Tissue layers. There are three fundamental animal tissues that exist. There's lots of it. You've got nervous tissue, muscle tissue, and all this kind of stuff. But fundamentally, all those tissues started out as three basic layers, and those layers are called ectoderm, which is the outermost tissue layer, mesoderm, which you might realize M for middle, meso is a middle layer of tissue, and endoderm is an innermost layer of tissue, okay? Not all animals possess all three of those fundamental tissue layers. For example, sponges have no tissues whatsoever. Jellyfish and their relatives have only 2 of those 3 tissue layers, but the more advanced animals like you and me and lots of others have all 3 of them, okay? Now, tissue layers lead us to a discussion of things that develop within those tissue layers, okay? A body cavity, okay, or a space in the body where organs develop. So a body cavity is a space in an animal's body that contains its organs. So it's not the same thing as a stomach. A stomach is a chamber, a space in your body into which you put food. But that's not a body cavity. A body cavity is the place where your stomach forms and lives and all your other internal organs, okay? So a coelom is another word for a body cavity, okay? I know it's spelled weird, but coelom means a body cavity, a place where organs live in your body. So what's the trend with regard to body cavities? The most, as you might imagine, the most primitive animals, the most simple animals like sponges don't have one at all, okay? Those animals are said to be acoelomate, meaning they have no coelom. A means without, so no coelom. If they don't have a place for for organs to form, that we would call a body cavity, if they don't have a place for those organs to form, then they can't have organs. So most acoelomate animals are very, very, very primitive, and they don't have much in the way of organ systems and things like that. So what we see here is an acoelomate animal, and it has a gut. That's its little digestive tract where food would go through. But as you can see, the body's solid. There's no organ space. There's no body cavity. Some animals sort of have one. We're not going to pay too much attention to those because we won't see too many of those animals that sort of have a body cavity. This animal sort of has a body cavity, but it doesn't quite meet the definition. Here's its gut where food would exist, and here's the outer layer of tissue, and there's a space here, but it's not quite proper, and we're not going to get bogged down in the details as to why. But the most advanced animals, and there's a lot of them, have a true body cavity, and that's what we see in this last one. Those animals are called coelomate animals, and the coelom is seen here in this space here and this space here, okay? And notice how the gut is surrounded with mesoderm too. Over here, the gut is not surrounded with mesoderm. That's what makes this a true body cavity. It's a real technical definition, but that's why. So this animal can get some organ development, but not real fancy. This animal can get lots of complex organ development, and that's important if you're gonna be complex. Sorry, a little redundant there, okay? Now, animals, like all organisms on Earth, from the tiniest bacterial cell, everything has to carry out different processes in order to survive. All animals, all of them, must feed and digest nutrients, food. All animals must be able to exchange gases with the environment, oxygen, carbon dioxide, things like that. All animals have to be able to move things around in their bodies. All animals have to be able to remove waste and get that out of their bodies. All animals have to be able to respond to stimuli. All animals, well, most animals have to be able to move around, and all animals must be able to, reproduce. Okay, so that's it for this podcast. We will continue on looking at each of these different processes that animals have to be able to do and talk about how all kinds of different animals get those things done. So thank you for watching. I will see you next time. Take care.